Hi, Rich Karuba for bowlingball.com. Let's talk about understanding the Pro CG bowling ball. Well, the term Pro CG is really kind of put off by the inference to professional bowlers or highly skilled groups of players. Don't be put off by that. It's rather, you understand that the manufacturers sometimes produce bowling balls with the pin at least 2.5 inches or more from the mass bias marker or the preferred spin axis on a given bowling ball. And these balls are labeled Pro CG. Sometimes you'll find them in the pro shops, sometimes you can find them with online retailers, and you know, they can work for you. They're not an inferior quality product. They're still first line bowling balls. It's just that you have some limited drilling options available with a Pro CG bowling ball. Now, you know, essentially the definition of the center of gravity, CG, is a position in which the ball is evenly balanced statically from left to right and from the finger to the thumb quadrants of the bowling ball. And the perfect balance point where the weight on any straight line drawn through the CG is 0 on either side of the CG, that's where you have a perfectly balanced center of gravity. And they usually mark it with a spot on the surface of the ball positioned on the label with some kind of punch mark or identification mark. Each manufacturer does it slightly differently, but that helps the ball driller when he places the ball on the scale to find the center of balance for that bowling ball, and then you can work from there to give you the drilling option to offset the bowling ball and maybe create a certain specific ball motion that you seek or you plan for in the mapping out and drilling layout process. You know, the PSA, the preferred spin axis, is also called mass bias by some manufacturers. It has the highest radius of gyration, the highest RG value, and it can be viewed as a secondary pin on the ball or a location that helps fine-tune ball motion. So the sharp pro shop operators know how it works and how to set up the drilling layouts to give you the desired motion that you look for. The only thing is, you'll notice that some of the CG markings on some of the bowling balls are a far distance from the pin to the preferred spin axis line, and these small shifts in the weight block compared to where the markers are can influence or limit the amount of drilling options that you have available, but it certainly doesn't mean the ball is not a first quality ball. So don't be afraid of a Pro CG bowling ball or even a Pro Pin bowling ball, as they're sometimes referred to. They can work well, and if you can get a real good price or a good deal on one of those first line bowling balls, then it's a strong consideration. I'm an advocate of having a very smooth, controlled ball reaction, much more favorably than a ball that makes a real swift or sudden change of direction. You're going to achieve more control over a longer period of time with that, and Pro CG bowling balls are certainly going to give you that option. Anyway, I hope that clarifies some of the information about Pro CG bowling balls, and thank you for visiting.